Alright guys, welcome back. We are here again working on part 3 of the 2JZ build here at the shop. Part 2, if you guys missed it, we went ahead and installed the 2JZ, got it all prepped. Collins kit, transmission, everything bolted up really nice. So also, I want to mention, because we have been reading you guys' comments, I want to let you guys know, we're working on getting this quality even higher than it is for you guys. So a lot of you have been saying that the echo in here is a little bit crazy. We actually currently have a new mic setup, so please give us some feedback on that. If this doesn't work out how we want it, we actually, Travis, did we order the mics?
Yes, sir.
We ordered the mics. So we actually have some Bluetooth like lapel mics that will be kind of coming in when? Tomorrow, Thursday, Wednesday?
One of those. One of those.
If you guys have any other feedback, comments or suggestions, we're here to try and make this content even better. Even though it's taken a huge step in the right direction, we still want to get it as good as we can. So let us know. Today we're going to be working on the fuel system on this thing. We actually have a pretty big, pretty gnarly setup going down. I'm going to show you guys some parts really quick, and we're just going to kind of hop right into things. Alright, so just really quick, we have a really cool array of parts here to go on this car. Some parts from Powerhouse Racing. Actually right here we have their pretty insane top hat setup. So this is actually going to go ahead and replace the factory top hat on the S14. Works for a few other chassis, R32, I believe R33, I could be wrong. We have, I believe, a 525 liter per hour Walbro fuel pump right here. This is the grounding kit. This took me a second to figure out what the hell this is, but this actually right here is a bracket to actually hold 2 fuel pumps. Bracket for our surge tank right here. This one is by Radium. So we have a pretty big to-do list today, but let's just get started.
I see items.
I see 7.
What do we got here, Calvin?
Oh, the homie Art, Vibrant, hooking it up. Shout out to you, Art. I know you're watching. Finally got my goodies. They actually got sent to my parents' place, and here we are in Texas. So we got, well, first off, killer magnet. I mean, that's just, gotta love that. I've been needing these. Some freshies. Shout out to Vibrant. Gotta love it. What else we got? What's this? I don't know what this is. Oh, it's one of those pop clips for your phone. We need to make our own. Thank you, though. This is pretty cool. I will use that. Sticker. Gotta love the stickers. Another one. Got ourselves a little hoodie. A little Vibrant hoodie. We'll take it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Alright guys, so we are back here working on the S14. I think last time you guys saw I was just working on like the fuel surge tank in the back. Got a little sidetracked. We had a couple little side projects in the shop, and we're back working on this thing. So first things first, I've actually done a little bit of work. I went and put like the billet tensioner in already. I do want to show you something really quick. However, with the actual tensioner itself, So the bracket, it's installed, all good to go. However, this tensioner right here, so there's this piston that basically it sticks out when you remove it. So you can remove it normally just as you would, just evenly. But when it comes to installing it, you're gonna wanna put this back inside of your vise. So put in the vise and you're gonna start clamping, but you wanna go very, very slow because this, you don't wanna ruin the actual mechanism. So it might take you like 2 or 3 minutes to wind this in. Take your time, and then there's gonna be a pin, or I guess I use a little Allen key. It's gonna slide all the way through, you guys can see, and it's gonna hold that tensioner, the piston, right where it needs to be before you install. So once that's all good to go, you go ahead and basically install it. I'm gonna grab my hardware. And so I don't have the belt on right now, so I'm not gonna pull the pin just yet, but when you get your belt actually all installed, you're gonna go ahead and then remove your pin. At that point, the piston's gonna go ahead and push up on the actual bracket itself, and then the pulley is gonna put tension on the actual timing belt, which is currently hiding away. We have, like I was telling you guys earlier, we have a mechanical fuel pump set up. So this is a Waterman pump, you guys can see right there. And then we actually have this whole bracket kit from PHR themselves. So I've never personally installed one of these on a car. However, I've seen a lot of, I mean, it's very straightforward. I've already figured it out. So we're gonna basically just go ahead and remove our cam gears, get started, and hopefully we should have this installed in no time. We're just gonna turn the motor over just a couple rotations and make sure our lines are all exactly where they should be. And then we'll go ahead and release our tension on our tensioner. And we're done, man. She's all timed up. I like to wrap around the intake cam gear first to make sure this is super taut, because this is where the tensioner is. So now what we're gonna do is pull our little pin out, and that's it. So now it's gonna pull in, put tension on that, and we're good to go. All timed up, baby. So we got the old mechanical fuel pump installed. Oh, hang on a second. Let me turn this fan off. It's probably pretty annoying. Although you guys might have to deal with it in the summertime. So I just want to go ahead and give you guys like some technical details about this pump. A lot of you guys maybe have questions, and maybe I can answer some of them right here. So if you guys do have further questions, just go ahead and drop them down below. But as of right now, I'll give you guys a quick little rundown of how these work, and I guess why you would choose this and what the benefits are. So let's hop in. I'm just watching, you know, that Lone Star Drift series thing on YouTube. So let's just talk about like your traditional fuel pumps, like your in-tank, your big high horsepower pumps. So you know, let's just say you're trying to fetch 1,000 horsepower, right? Because that's where this car is going to be. So that way, if you really want just a big single pump, guys, those things are super noisy. I don't know if you've heard one, but they're insanely noisy. And let's just say you're just in a normal cruising scenario, you know, you're just putting down the road as you normally would. That pump is going to create a lot of heat, which is going to cause the fuel to heat up as well. So that's also another thing to think about. Sure, you know, you can go ahead and upgrade your alternator, your battery and stuff like that, but even with these pumps, you won't be able to turn your damn headlights on. Shout out to Herman from Platinum Racing on that joke. Now, instead of just having one single pump, you can go ahead and have like multiple stage pumps. Yeah, that's also very cool. However, you kind of run into the same issues that you do as with the big main single pump. A lot of voltage, reliability, you know, it's just not the best setup. Creates a lot of heat, and so on. So that brings us on over to the mechanical fuel pump. Guys, this thing literally, obviously, as you guys can see, it's not even related to the charging system, so it takes no load. It takes a lot of strain off your fuel system. Basically, you're just left with the in-tank pump, which we'll get to that later. There is zero noise. These things are dead silent, much more reliable. And I mean, just a little side note, they look incredibly cool, so you can't argue with that. So a big misconception with these pumps is they don't start well. You're gonna have a problem starting your car. So here's a quick rundown of the way that you should set up this system. So you guys saw we actually installed a surge tank at the back of the car. That surge tank is gonna be fed by the in-tank pump, which is gonna be a 525 liter per hour Walbro. That Walbro is feeding that surge tank. That surge tank is then pressurizing a line to this pump. Once all the air is bled out of that system and there's fuel at the pump will remain pressurized, and it will then constantly have a supply of fuel. Sorry, I had to turn that fan back on. It is so humid today. I'm already sweating. But yeah, you may have trouble if there's an air pocket inside of the line, but that's most likely, once you've done it, if you set it up properly, you will not have a pocket unless there's a leak in the system. So you're not gonna have issues starting it. ECU technology nowadays has expanded and grown so far to the point where cold starts are not an issue. Also, if you guys are just curious as how this drives, I mean, maybe you guys probably caught on as to when I installed this, and maybe just by looking at it. So this is actually driven off the cam gears. When you guys saw that I installed this, there's a little hex drive that actually drives the pump itself. So fuel is actually gonna come in, go to the rail, and then this, I believe, is a return. I have to double check the plumbing. Also, if you guys are trying to build an 8-second car here, yeah, it may be better if it's a dedicated drag car to actually have the surge tank inside of the engine bay as close to the pump as possible. But you're gonna be just fine with having, you know, you can even retain your stock fuel pump in the tank as well as the factory fuel line if you would like to. However, we're gonna go ahead and upgrade both those items. And if you guys are thinking that the surge tank may run out of fuel, all of the return fuel gets dumped back into the surge. So none of the fuel that is unused gets directly put back into the tank. Everything that is not used from the rail fills back up in the surge. Now there will be a kind of a breather between the tank and the surge, to whereas if we do need to go ahead and dump fuel back out of the surge into the tank, we will be able to do that. And you guys gotta bear with me. I'm trying to give like the best explanation I can. I don't make these pumps, but I did a couple research things and watched a couple of videos, mainly the Platinum Racing ones. So kind of getting most of my info from there. But if you guys want a really in-depth, like full-blown, make sure you go check their video out. I'll try to link that down below. Now the reasoning behind having the surge tank here in the engine bay is because of cavitation. If you guys are doing a pull off the line in a crazy 8-second drag car, the fuel is going to want to cavitate, right? So that fuel is going to want to go back, and with having it up here, the distance in which it has to travel much shorter. However, you'll be fine keeping the surge tank in the back of the car 99% of the time. When the cam speed increases, you get more fuel. Think about it that way. The faster the gear spins, the more RPM, the more fuel is pumped through this. So this little pump here is capable of well into the 4 digits. It's pretty incredible. I'm not too familiar with Waterman pumps, but I do know Kilsner pumps. I believe they have pumps that go, you know, they range from all the way from, you know, your average 300 to 500 horsepower all the way to 3,000 plus horsepower off one single pump, which is pretty incredible if you think about it. And the best part, no complicated wiring. However, we will have one pump to wire up. That's very minor compared to 2, 3, 4 pumps. But that's just a quick rundown. I don't want to get too in depth with this right now. Like I said, this video is already probably long enough, but I'm currently going to go ahead and wire up the relays and everything for the single fan. So let's just kind of dive into that. So if you guys are wondering what the hell I'm even doing here, I don't think I've updated you guys. Right here is gonna be like our relay, just kind of our panel mainly. So right here we have, I don't know what you wanna call it, panel's like the most generic thing I can come up with. So we have our fuel filter, which is gonna be right here. Flex fuel sensor, which we don't currently have, that's gonna go right here. And then this is actually just our relay for the actual pump setup. So, you know, nice little clean setup here. And then we got our holes right here. They're gonna go ahead and bolt to the firewall. We'll go ahead and riv knot everything. So as far as the wiring goes, if you guys are curious what's going on here, this pump controls, or this relay controls the new pump. So right here we basically just have the ground, you know, we have this into a nice little terminal right here, so we can kind of remove this and it's serviceable and stuff like that, and also just looks pretty clean. So this wire right here is going to be going to the fuel pump itself. So the nice part is each one of these 8 terminals here are separated, their own little path. So nothing here connects with each other besides just what's on the opposite end. So we have ground, we have the power to the pump. This right here is a trigger wire, which is going to be going into the factory harness to turn this pump on. And then we have here the other main wire is going to go into this breaker, and this breaker here is going to be connected to 12 volt power from the battery. So pretty straightforward setup. If you guys have 2 pumps and you basically just have 2 of these, you basically just make 2, you know what I mean? So pretty straightforward, nice clean setup. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this in the car, and we're getting this fuel system buttoned up, man. I don't think we'll have it all finished in this video just because I don't have any of the fuel lines, but we got a good amount done, so we're making good progress. This weekend, we are actually planning on taking the Z down to Texas 2K. So if you guys are going to be down there, let me know in the comments below, because, you know, maybe we can hang out, have a little meet or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's the plan. Also, well, I just took a shower, so that's why I'm not that sweaty. Sorry, I took a nice cold shower. But yeah, as far as like content, let me know how you guys like the audio. We're trying out these Bluetooth mics, but for some reason there's a lot of white noise, and I'm doing my best to kind of edit it out in post. If any of you guys out there have like ideas or I guess recommendations as to how to get rid of white noise or any good like Bluetooth mics, I'm using iMovie as an editing software, so maybe that is like my limiting factor. I can't compress the audio. I don't know how that works, but what is that sound, dude? But yeah, let me know if you guys have any like comments or whatever, ways to improve the content. God, what is that? There's like something on top of the roof, or like multiple things everywhere. It's like, oh, is it raining? I'm gonna close it out for today. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you guys want to keep up with the content. A lot of cool stuff happening. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good evening. Take care. Peace.
Thank you.